Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin, and happy Friday. Thanks for joining me for my Feature Friday video today. I chose to use the Swirly Bird stamp set. Now this stamp set has a matching set of framelits called Swirly Scribble Thinlits that are available. And there are just a gazillion fabulous cards out there with this little bundle. I also needed a set of words for the cards I'm going to show you today, so I picked the Picture Perfect Birthday, and this is also one of my favorites, and both of these are retiring. Stamp sets are guaranteed until May 24th. The Thinlits while supplies last, so there's a gazillion ideas using both of these stamp sets and the Thinlits online. So I'm going to show you today what I think are some masculine cards and just something a little out of the ordinary that you might not expect from this stamp set. I'm going to bring in my cardstock layers here first. I'm going to be using a card base of Tranquil Tide. Now this is 5.5 by 8.5. I've scored it, or I folded it in half, and I've burnished that edge. This is also retiring with our in colors this season. So, and here in Wisconsin, we call this Green Bay Packer green. So if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, you may want to get yourself some extra Tranquil Tide because it is the perfect color. For those of you that may not know, the Green Bay Packers is our professional football team here. And this color is part of their uniform color. Okay, let's keep going. Enough about football, right? This is basic black. It is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and then I've got an inside layer of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4, and the front layer that is 3 3/4 by 5. For those of you that follow me, you know that if you head over to my blog, you can find all of these dimensions in one place, as well as a shopping list of all the products I'm going to show you today. Just in case you need to place an order, I always appreciate your orders. We're going to stamp up the front layer of our card first. And I'm going to bring in all these little swirlies from the Swirly Bird stamp set. And then I've got Pacific Point, Tranquil Tide, Old Olive, and Sahara Sand inks. I'm going to use this big solid image, and I'm going to stamp that with the Sahara Sand ink in the top corner and the bottom corner. And we're done with that for right now. Next, I'm going to bring in the next biggest image, and in the Tranquil Tide, we're going to stamp some of those on here. Now remember, I said I was making these as masculine cards, and I think that you're really going to enjoy this. I also have a bunch of color combinations that I made, so more cards, not a bunch, but a couple more cards to show you with this particular design that you're going to love, I think. I'm pretty sure. This is Old Olive, and this is one of the more solid images. And now I like to do my big images first so that I know I have space for them. And then you bring in the smaller images and fill in. Now this is Pacific Point ink, and I'm just going to stamp some of these around to give it some good color. I think we'll do one more like right up here. Okay, this black layer is going to have a die cut image cut right out of the middle of it using the Happy Birthday Thinlits. This is another product that is retiring, and I just looked in my store. This particular Thinlit is still available. Woohoo! This is one of my favorites. So if you don't have something like this, you may want to get your hands on it. It's pretty cool. I'm going to run this through my Big Shot, and I'll be right back. And here comes our negative, and here is our die cut image. So we're actually going to add a little bit of our liquid glue around the outside edge of our stamped layer and use what's left over from our Happy Birthday Thinlit as our front layer for our card. So that's kind of cool. You guys have seen me do this before. It's just a good way to conserve on cardstock. Instead of taking another piece of black and die cutting and then using this whole piece of black, this works out pretty good. Okay, now I just like to kind of go around and add some little dots to the outside edges of this die. You don't need to get too crazy with the glue. Or you could die cut this on your self-adhesive sheets and turn this whole thing into a sticker. So I just kind of randomly place some little tiny dots around the outside of my die. And we're going to put that right here on the front of our card. Press it all down good. What do you think? Isn't that kind of a neat card? Super easy to make. Then we're going to bring in our basic black Memento ink pad. And whoa, oh goodness, I'm glad I didn't get that on my card, right? We're going to stamp Celebrate the Good Stuff from the Picture Perfect Birthday stamp set. And then I also wanted to add just a tiny little color to the inside. And then as long as we've got all these stamps and all these colors out here, we are going to have to decorate up an envelope. Because even though they may not admit it, guys like the envelopes decorated too. So here comes an envelope, and I've just got a piece of printer weight paper here, and I folded it so that I can just stamp the flap of my envelope. So we're going to bring these colors back in here and make the envelope match our card. And we're going to do it in the same order with the biggest image and then the next biggest image and then some of these smaller images to fill in. Very random. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Check that out. Super simple card. Just some neat colors. I just kind of chose the blue and green to go together, and then the Sahara sand. And of course our die cut happy birthday says it all. And then Celebrate the Good Stuff. All right, do you want to see some other colors that I made? Here comes Pacific Point. So I used Pacific Point, Blueberry Bushel, and Bermuda Bay on this one, again with the Sahara sand. So there's another one. And then I decided to get out my oranges. And again, Sahara sand, pumpkin pie, mango melody, and another great man card. Now, I'm not finished yet because there's another really cool card that I want to show you using the Swirly Bird. So let's move these aside. I'm going to get this mess cleaned up and bring in the stuff for the other card. Okay, are you ready for another cool masculine card? This next card uses Call Me Clover as our base, and this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 5 1/2. And I am going to burnish this edge good. And then we've got the same size white and black as on the front of the other card. This is 3 3/4 by 5, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I had to grab another piece of white that's 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. So we're going to take the front of our card, and I've got Call Me Clover ink, Granny Apple Green, and some gray granite. Now this little stamp image right here is this one. So we've got a solid and a striped one. And the cool thing about these is you can stamp the solid one in a lighter color, the stripes over top of it in a darker color. This is actually the bottom of a boat, so you can use this as the sail on your boat. This stamp set has so many different possibilities. But here's a really cute card using that boat and then also the swirly little framelits down here for the waves. So again, like just so many possibilities with this particular stamp set. And the thin lids. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the Call Me Clover and, whoops, first of all, oh, I'm glad I didn't forget this. We're gonna grab our black ink and we're going to stamp the Celebrate the Good Stuff. And again, this is from the Picture Perfect Birthday. Celebrate the Good Stuff. Okay, we're done with this for just a little bit. Then we're gonna take our Call Me Clover and we're gonna come in here and we are going to stamp the sailboat, and then we're gonna turn it around and we're gonna stamp it again, just like that, okay? Let's get our chamois out and we're gonna clean that. And now we're gonna come into the Granny Apple Green and we're going to stamp that sailboat again, turn it and stamp it again. I shouldn't say sailboat, it's just the sail. And do you see the pattern we're making? It's like a whirligig. You know those things that you wave in the wind and they spin around? Yeah, so let's keep going here. Now I'm still in the Granny Apple Green, so I'm just gonna put another one down here. And you're gonna have to kind of stamp off your paper. Now I could have just put one whirligig on here, but I wanna do several of them. And I'm just gonna keep going. Let's see, we'll do one more right here. And then the other part right there. And now we'll see where we need to fill in. Here comes the Call Me Clover again. There we go. We've got 3 whirligigs. And I think I'm just going to kind of bring in maybe a little piece right there and a little one right there just to kind of fill up our card. And then we're going to stamp the inside layer again with Memento black ink. Happiest of birthdays to you. And don't you just love this font? I just think this font is fabulous. And then I'm going to stamp a little whirligig right down here. And we're just gonna see what fits. Whoops, I should have kept going there. Let's make the other part of this. And now I need to clean and bring in the Granny Apple Green. Okay, now we wouldn't have much of a whirligig if we didn't put a centerpiece in it. So I thought that the Happiness Blooms enamel dots would be perfect for this. So I'm gonna bring in the largest green ones here and put them right in the middle of our whirligigs. That's such a weird word to say, isn't it? Whirligig. I remember having these when I was a child, and I think they still have them in the stores, don't they? I think so. Okay, let's get our card put together. Our front layer is going to go on this black. The black is really going to make this pop. We'll get everything together here. I hope you guys have some great plans for the weekend, or maybe you're just going to stay home and relax. That's always nice too, right? I've got such a busy weekend coming up. I have a surprise birthday party to go to Friday night. And Saturday, I'm heading to Madison for a Stampin' Up event where I'm going to be a presenter. Holy cow, I haven't even started on that yet. Sunday, I have a wedding shower to go to, and Sunday night, don't forget to come watch me on Facebook Live. So here's our whirligig card, you guys. What do you think? Let me show you another color combination. Here I used Bermuda Bay and Blueberry Bushel. Which one is your favorite? You know what I forgot to do? This is the second time I forgot to do this. Let's bring in that gray granite ink. And also included in this stamp set are these little speckles. And I can still add a few of these here. And I'm just going to fill in the blank spots with a few speckles. There we go. Hooray! What do you think? Pretty cool, right? I thought this was a pretty neat card. Okay, so we've got, move some of this out of the way. We've got our happy birthday with all those swirly circles. And then we've got whirligigs here with the sail from the sailboat. Swirly Bird stamp set and the Swirly Scribbles Thinlits combined with the Great Greeting Set Picture Perfect. I'm pretty happy with these, and now I'm set on man birthdays or boy birthdays. It could go for either one, right? For quite a while. Yay me! If you're interested in ordering any of these supplies, these are all retiring as well as the Happy Birthday Thinlit. You can hop right on over to my blog, www.stampabove.com. If you click right up here, it'll take you right there. You're going to find a complete shopping list available for all the products that I've shown you here today. Our stamp sets are guaranteed until the 24th of May. Once they run out, then they're not going to make any more. Anything that isn't a stamp set that's retiring is while supplies last. Please make sure you use this host code if your order is under $150. If it's over $150, don't use the code. You'll get your own rewards. And I want to thank you again for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Catch me back Facebook Live Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central Time at A Stamp Above - Your Creative Coach on Facebook. We'll have a whole bunch of fun. I have some fun folds that I'm going to share with you. And don't forget to click down here to subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss anything I have coming up. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.